Dance Room! And we are here with the Playmas team. This is Carnival Visionaries, the series where we dive a little bit deeper into the stories of the magic makers in the carnival scene. So I know you all see all of those pretty costumes, but who are the ones that create them? So in this series, we are going to touch base with some of those magic makers, and we are here today with one of those magicians. She goes by the name of Natalie Fonrose, which I fondly know her as, and a lot of the people in Trinidad and Tobago and the carnivals keep know as Fonrose. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And as you can see, she is in all of her motherly glory.
Yes,
so,
Fonrose the brand and company.
Yes, girl! So, Natalie, let's start with this. Start with this. How has your experience been? Is this your first baby?
Yes.
So, how has this been?
Great. No complaints. When I first got pregnant, everybody's like, Natalie, you're going to get sick, and then you're going to slow down with your work, and it's going to be rough. But I tell me, Lord, that I've had a very easy pregnancy to a point I've kind of disassociated myself that I'm pregnant and worked to right through. It's only now that I'm coming down to the end, I'm like, oh wow, gosh, this time is coming.
But I had to tell her, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
In your pregnancy. So we won a first commender for that. And also in terms of you, in your pregnancy, we just came out of band launch season in Trinidad and Tobago, and then with a lot of other bands around the world I know you designed for as well. So tell us, how has that been for you? Have you sit out this whole band launch season, or were you still working while you were pregnant?
I was definitely still working. I can't sit out. I always told myself that when I get pregnant, I'm going to take a year off. But in the motion, I'm like, absolutely not. I can't. So I still have 3 costumes for Trinidad, 2 in Rogue, 1 in Tribe. I continue to do my work internationally. The only thing is at the beginning of the year, which would have been maybe my 3rd, 4th month, I was in a bit of fatigue. So I felt like I was a bit slow, but from the time I hit my 2nd trimester, I was up running again.
So being a carnival costume designer, for how many years now you're in this business?
Officially 5.
5 years. So 5 years as a costume designer. And you have designed for not only Trinidad and Tobago, I know you've designed for
everywhere.
Bands
Barbados,
outside of Trinidad.
Yeah. Grenada, St. Lucia, the United States. So we have New York, we have Miami, we have Atlanta, there is England. Literally everywhere that has carnival, I have at one point in time put my costume there.
So did you, in your train of thought or creativity this year, designing for a lot of these bands, being pregnant now and being a new mom, did that alter your train of thought in terms of your designs? Did you feel like if you changed, or is the same Fonrose?
I don't think it's the same Fonrose. I think I started to put a little more effort into my work. I always did, but I feel like with time, you get better, right? But I felt like this pivotal year, I was like, listen, I don't want anyone thinking, okay, she's pregnant, she's disabled. So I was like, Natalie, this year, undoubtedly, you have to give your best work so that when they do find out you were pregnant, they'll be like, oh, okay, she can still function, right?
Right.
But funny enough, things work out to be great because my pregnancy ran through a period of me being able to still design. So now I'm in the month of having my child, August, which is essentially the last designing period for the year, right? So we're heading into Miami. So I have my month rest, and then we go again for the new season. So like it always runs like a school system. So September into October begins a new cycle for the new year.
So tell us about that, because a lot of people who are into the carnival space just know to buy their costume.
Right.
They don't know what is the carnival cycle like. So give us an idea of what is this cycle.
So this cycle actually commences, it actually runs for the entire year, but it really commences right after Miami Carnival. So Miami Carnival is essentially the last carnival for the year. Then from Miami, which will be October, we start again for St. Kitts, which is January 1st, and then we run right through the entire year, right? But our break period is usually October to December for creating new designs, but production still goes on because we have Trinidad Carnival. So production starts November for Trinidad Carnival. But that period goes on like a cycle, like a school system. So your last design, your fresh design is August. And then we start again from September, October to run again. So I feel like it's still run like a school system to me.
Right.
But the period, the design process starts maybe 3 months before sales and then you have a period of 1 month before Carnival. So it's an evolving, never-ending cycle. So when people be like, oh, well, Carnival is just once a year, I'm like, absolutely not. It's 12 months for the year.
So because you all are the designers for all of these other different carnivals.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that all of these costumes that they play in and the masks that they play around the world, a lot of you all are from here in Trinidad and Tobago. So how does that work, being a designer for these other bands? Is it that they just send you all a theme, or how does it work being to design for somewhere outside the team?
What they do is they reach out to us, and then they offer us the theme for the design, and then color schemes, and sometimes they leave it up to us to choose, or sometimes they give us guidelines. But as you just have mentioned, most of the designers are from Trinidad, and social media is so harsh, I can tell you. But most times I see for myself that these places, they have a negative response to most of the designers being Trinidadians, but this is also the mecca of Carnival.
Right.
We have been provided the opportunity to learn a lot more than a lot of these other places that are now starting to pick up a momentum for Carnival. But when they reach out to us, we willingly take it because this is our job.
Yeah.
If it's 100 designs, we're going to have sleepless nights because you have to beat the iron while it's hot. Just like any entertainment industry, well, you know too, because being in entertainment, the moment you slow down and lose momentum is the moment you can fizzle out and lose your space. So you have to ride this iron hot now because it have about 10 other new designers coming who hot.
Waiting to take Fonrose's place. They watch and they say, hey, I hear Fonrose pregnant, you know. This year we go deal with that.
I have seen that on social media. I saw somebody put, Fonrose trying to get any kind of costume because she's pregnant. I said, but who tell you?
So Natalie, in terms of now you're designing for all of these bands all over the world, and it's a cycle. How long does it take to come up with a design?
For great design, I would say a month. But then sometimes we have clients who come with timelines for 2 and 3 weeks, which really adds a lot of pressure, limits the amount of time we could go back and fix. So then people sometimes say, but why Trinidad sometimes get the best designs? Because we start our process about 3-4 months before. So like we started designing since end of April, beginning of May. May, June, July, band launches, end of July. So we had a full 3 months of preparation. You go in, you show, then you have other critics who can help improve your design and say, Natalie, well, this not suiting us. Because remember, I could be biased in my design, but then if you have other critics who are well versed in the industry, they uplift your design. Most times when clients reach out from internationally, they aren't as versed as the people who operate Carnival here.
Right. Okay. So you don't have as much time to prep for them.
No.
And then when you say 2 weeks to a month in terms of creating your design, is this from concept to prototype?
To prototype.
Okay. Concept to prototype.
There are sometimes we get a proper gap, and sometimes that's the next thing. Miami costumes tend to be sometimes the better costume out of our entire run. Because Miami, it starts so early as well. They are usually the ones who start very early. But sometimes these small islands, they come so last minute. It's a rush.
So then now, you're designing for all of these bands all over the world. Where you get any creativity from to keep doing all of these designs? Or you just copy and paste and you take out?
I've always tried to not do that copy and paste. I've seen other designs do copy and paste, but I can't do it. I need to always try and reinvent myself and get better and do new things. But I always tell my clients, you are going to get my very best work if you bring forward a great theme or concept, something that I can do research on. Sometimes I can pull inspiration from. If you just decide one day, Natalie, we want to do the ocean, and you're not specifying exactly what's in the ocean, or give me some specific direction, it makes me kind of disassociate myself with the job. And I just kind of do whatever I could possibly do and probably give you a blue costume.
Right.
Which limits my creativity, you understand,
right?
So I always say my best work will be from great direction and a proper planned out theme for execution.
Right. So then, for you now, having to do different costumes for different markets, where you would say you draw your inspiration from?
Research, for sure. It's always research. Fashion is something, and I would say Carnival is fashion. It's repetitive, but you have to see how to evolve what's already done or bring forth some new concept or idea, something very small, and improve a past design into something new. So I feel like I have to get a proper team for me to be able to do research so I can pull forward great ideas to execute. Because most times it's not just sitting at the top of my head.
Right.
You know, I need research just like anything else.
But is it that you want to go to, all right, let's say randomly, I'm going to pick an island. You mentioned St. Kitts.
Yes.
I don't know if you have ever been to St. Kitts. But
I have.
Okay, so
Yes.
is it that you feel like if you have to design for a certain territory, you want to visit that territory to know what their culture is like, or you just go to the internet and you look for the territories?
I look at the internet. I also ask my clients what demographic is. So, for example, Trinidad Carnival is skimpy, hotties, thongs, bodies, right? Everybody knows we have the hot ladies, right? But our carnival has been here for a very long time. We have desensitized a lot of things like nudity. It's almost as if you're being outside in a thongs and a very skimpy wire bra. It's not affecting anyone. People actually enjoy and they still give you respect. But these smaller islands have not evolved in that way as yet. So if it is you know the demographic, you're going to know, well, Natalie, thongs, very skimpy swimwear isn't something that will be purchased, so you design more for fuller figures.
Right.
So for some of these islands, the body figure is plus size. So you want to do better plus size options to facilitate the demographics so you can have better sales. Because if you design with a mindset of thinking that everywhere is like Trinidad, you're going to affect the amount of sales that you get.
Ah, okay. So it depends on the demographic.
Yes, it depends on the demographic.
Right, so you definitely had to know that. All right, great. Because I didn't know. I thought you all just design across the board.
Even financial reach. Like Trinidad, oh gosh, you know, is a pound and a crown.
Yeah, for a costume.
But some of these smaller islands can't financially reach there because job.
Well, not only that too is that some of the masqueraders not accustomed with those prices.
Correct. So
they might be able to pay the average. So give us an idea. What's the average cost, not in terms of materials, but a costume at retail for here versus the other islands?
So maybe a smaller island. I wouldn't say specifically which one, but the smaller ones that are now developing Carnival, they will sell a front line maybe for $700 US, right? $700 US is no money for Trinidad because we will be selling our frontline costumes at 14.
Right.
So double. Yeah, so we have to design in reach. So now sometimes people see our costumes and say, but why this costume so weak in comparison to maybe Miami costume? Is because we have to design with the demographic.
Right, so you had to think of the customer who's going to purchase this. So it don't make sense putting materials together for a $1,400 costume and your consumer could only make $700. I get that. I get that, definitely. So in terms of trends that you love to see in Carnival, what would you say are some of those trends?
I definitely love the direction of using new materials for backpacks and not just purely feathers. I have ventured into it as well. I just find it's a little sticky because the audience is a bit difficult to shake because everybody loves these feathers, but feathers have become so expensive. If you are trying to venture into this job to spend your money to then hope to make it back, you are going to have to spend maybe $20,000 on a costume.
Wow.
And hope that you will get it back and hope that someone will buy it. A band will buy it. It's not cheap. So when it is you try to design with new materials in mind, but it still give that extravagance, and let's say cut the price to $10,000, some masqueraders are okay with it, and then some of them are like, I don't know, we want feathers. So my designs, at a point in time, I tried to venture into new materials for the sake of the masqueraders so that it's more reachable financially. But the response wasn't as great as my feathered backpacks.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is something that you don't like to see in Carnival? Trends that you don't like to see that you think they should stop it right now?
I
know this is a hard one.
It's a hard one.
Because I know you're designers, you like most things in Carnival.
Yeah.
I will give you an example of some things that some people said that they don't like to see is heels on the road.
As in open toe?
As in women wearing heels on the road?
No, open toe, that's for church. But
So a woman can wear open toe heel
no.
on the road?
No. This
No?
is not Wendy Fitzwilliam crossing the stage in
Wait.
1998. No. This is 2023. We in boots heels. We in
Boots heels?
Yeah, you can wear boots heels.
Okay.
I love to see that.
Right.
I love to see boots heels. I could do the boots. The flat boots is still a trending thing.
How about sneakers?
Sneakers, yes, but you see white sneakers on a costume, unless it's a white costume, I think that's a problem.
So all who go in convent and come out with the white sneakers?
Yeah, no.
That's not flick.
No. Get a sneakers to match your costume.
Right.
Color.
So order your sneakers from beforehand.
Yeah.
You know what is your color scheme of your costume. Match your sneakers
Yes.
with your costume.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
In terms of a bit of your backstory, right? So a lot of people don't know this. Natalie was actually an engineer. She will always be an engineer. And now you're a designer.
Yeah.
Give us a bit about that transition from being an engineer to a designer. What made you make that switch?
That hot sun boy.
What do you mean the hot sun? We come and play mass on the red hot sun.
Okay, so think about it. Every day you have to get up 6. You have to go to work at 6 and you finish your work 6. Half an
Right.
hour lunch, right? So you're racing to go back inside, eat half an hour, come back out. Now I have the privilege of working in the comfort of my space. It's a lot more liberating. I have been able to travel the world off of my job, not just off of working with clients, but off of my own strength, because it has been financially rewarding. Carnival has been way more than being an engineer, funny enough. And it's just an empowering situation where you being your own boss and you can control circumstances. So now I'm pregnant. I feel like if I was still an engineer as well, I don't know how that would have panned out.
Right.
Because my limitations, the amount of time I would have been able to spend with my child, and being able that I'm working in a controlled environment, now I have the privilege to be bonding with my child till he's ready to go to school.
So, do you miss it at all?
There was a point in time I did. So, the downside of being a designer, I feel like, just like anything else, funny enough, for Trinidad, designers have been placed in the spotlight. It's, yes, we have the costumes, but they also want to know who are the faces of recently. Much like anything else, right? Because now it's who is aligned with this product, so I can buy this product. Just like Kanye with Easy.
Like a brand.
Like a brand,
So
right?
your designers becoming a brand.
Correct. So now you're at the forefront. But it has also brought a lot of light on who you are and your private life and everything else.
Right.
Which I did not plan on, right? Because I was popular back then.
Because I know go and see everybody know Fonrose was a hot girl in the city, 10 out of 10. So how she talking about she will find me on spotlight? Hey, who she trying to fool here, boy? Hey, alright,
being a hot girl, hotty, still a hotty. Being a hotty back then, it's different. You're just going to parties and having a good time, right? Nobody's really in your face. But now people are in your face. So having that excess spotlight, because everything that you do now in Carnival, it involves you.
Right.
If you see me in a party once every 2 weeks, that's a difference. But now anything that deals with my job, it's on the forefront. So I feel like the only downside is I don't have my privacy like I used to. But I've also done a lot of backtracking. So my social media is very controlled now. All I post is my work. Don't even look for anything else. But it's just not as private as it used to be. So that's the only thing I miss.
So you feel like if things that you do in your private capacity could affect you as a brand in terms of the Fonrose brand?
And I don't know. I feel like Fonrose have a ring to it, right? And I feel like I've seen a lot of people also in the industry who are popular but do not get as much nitpicking as they do on me.
Right.
And sometimes it becomes excessive, not to the point where I feel like, oh, I'm going to give up and this is not for me, because my back is broad and strong. So I'm able to deal with it. But I mean, anybody who's coming up that might be wanting to get into this carnival industry or just be exposed in the entertainment industry on its own, in itself, have to know that you're going to have to come with a very broad back, because you are trying to please an audience who are very liberated, who are very opinionated. They love this Twitter bad. They love this social media bad. And if you aren't okay and happy with yourself and your product, it's very easy for you to crumble.
So, is it that Carnival is really bacchanal?
It is.
And the community is a bacchanalish community?
Okay, hold on.
So, I want to get into the nitty-gritty because we know that within, I would say, the Carnival designer fraternity is, in my opinion, sort of a cliquish one, in that everybody is kind of everybody know everybody, and it's a
you know
who's
why
who kind of
I
thing.
feel like it's a clique thing? It's because we do not have organizations that willingly teach carnival creations. It have we have a carnival degree system or whatever, but it's nothing like a proper schooling. So it's only a few of us, literally, in comparison to how many doctors and lawyers it have. Then you can't have a clique there because then that's half of the country, right? But the clique, why it will consider to be a clique is because you could literally count how many designers it have, and you're going to very well know all of them, because our carnival is the mecca. Everywhere is taking our designers, so we at some point in time going to cross paths and we're going to know everyone. So that's why it appears to be a clique. But I don't think literally it's that immediate environment is the problem. I think everyone else outside who purchases and buys a costume, who don't know how this carnival operates, are the ones that are so opinionated and have the most to say.
Right, so it's more on that side versus within the circle itself of creatives.
Because I've had very supportive affiliates in my carnival circle.
Well, I know too as well, social media has bred a lot of bacchanal pages.
Yeah.
So there are pages like Follow Soca and MYOB and E Entertainment, and in my opinion, again, a lot of these pages are bacchanal pages. So you have people in the carnival space who will come at you with Twitter fingers and kind of destroy your character.
Of course.
There. So it is difficult, I know, for a lot of designers in this space, because I know I've seen a lot of these pages. And you know, it's a funny thing. You would be able to tell me if this is true. A couple designers have told me that when they have gone through a carnival period, some of them are nervous as to the backlash that they get on some of these social media pages.
Yeah, all the time. Because the carnival will pass by and I'll just be like refreshing, like, let's see what's next. A band would launch and I'll be like, oh, let me see what they're saying about this costume. And that's obsessive. That's not healthy. But they literally have driven us to become that. And I literally had to pull myself back the other day because I got some backlash with Chloe Bailey costume, right?
So you did Chloe Bailey?
I did Chloe Bailey costume for St. Lucia. Now, in the process, we had to go through a process to get her costume, which would have been drawings, confirmations, and all these little things. But because Chloe Bailey, I don't know if you ever noticed, you know when these celebrities like Amber Rose and all these people, when they come to Trinidad.
Lil Kim was here too.
Lil Kim. Usually we see them on TV, they will have on skimpy wear, right? Because that's TV, that's controlled, that they have editing and lighting. But when they get here, it's big panties.
Right.
You don't see them in thongs. And you don't see them overexposed. And this is a fact. Because look at Lil Kim, she had on a whole big panty. And I'm like, aren't you a hottie?
Right.
But it's the same thing with these celebrities when they go to Carnival. And in the confirmation of this doing the design, we went through the process to agree, right? So I did some excess chains because I didn't want it to be too overexposed, because again, you don't know how far they will go with being naked. They loved it. Chloe Bailey loved it. Then you see in backlash on social media, oh, who's the designer for this? Who did this terrible job? And I'm just there like,
serious?
Y'all don't give me a rest. And did you wear it?
Because when we saw that, I thought everybody was kind of celebrating that a celebrity is in a costume. I didn't know that you got negative backlash.
I had negative backlash.
So how does that affect you in terms of mentally and putting out more work?
I think maybe 2 years back, I'd have been like sobbing. But now I'm just there like, sis, I don't have you to take on, I don't know. Because in my mind, I was thinking, in a week time, I'll see my Trinidad costumes all your way.
She silenced the critics. She silenced the critics. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we spoke about the industry being seen as a bit cliquish.
Right.
So what advice would you have for a young designer, or not even that young, maybe just a new designer, somebody who wants to enter the carnival costume design arena? What advice would you have for them as to how to break into that?
There are a few methods. I think one is find a designer who's willing to be a mentor. That could definitely work. There are some willing designers, even though they might have seemed cliquish. If you approach somebody's going to be like, yes, we need somebody to assist, maybe cutting strings, and you might learn. But I also did a course. I started a course during COVID called Carnival Academy, which is a carnival academy, and it teaches you from fundamentals all the way up to advanced in carnival construction of costumes. I did slow down on it, however, once carnival came back into play, because it was a lot
for you to do and to have to design.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I said this year I am working on trying to make it fully sustainable online. So like you can purchase, get a course, and then purchase to move on every step, and you choose to figure out what you want to learn. Maybe wire bras, maybe decorating, maybe wrapping, maybe feathering, maybe backpack designs. So I'm in the process of trying to make it online, because everything is just a snap of a finger. So I'm hoping that provides young upcoming designers, even those who are struggling in the industry right now, an opportunity to find themselves, find their creative juices, and be able to fizzle their way into the industry, because they have more than enough space. There's only so many costumes we can do.
Right, great. I love that. I love that. So you can look out for it. It's called Carnival Academy.
Carnival Academy.
Carnival Academy. Yeah. So we're gonna jump in now to a game. It is called This or That.
Right.
So you are gonna give you don't have much time to think. You have to tell me what is the first thing that comes to your mind, and you're gonna pick.
Okay.
Feathers or gems?
Feathers.
Bold and vibrant colors or metallic tones?
Bold.
Doubles or bacon shack?
Bacon shack.
Traditional mask or fantasy mask?
Fantasy mask.
Elaborate headpieces or dramatic shoulder pieces?
Dramatic shoulder pieces.
Flowing capes or feathered backpacks?
Feathered backpacks.
Mass on the road or crossing the stage?
Mass on the road Monday, crossing the stage Tuesday.
Carnival Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday for you?
Yeah.
I actually prefer Monday too.
Yeah.
I know, but then for women, I know a lot of women like to put on everything in their costume and take out pictures
That's a lot
on
of
Tuesday.
work.
So you prefer Monday on the road? Traditional Caribbean elements or fusion with other cultures?
Fusion with other cultures.
Frontline costumes or backline costumes?
Front.
I tell her, they have girl in the city here, you know, she been on backline, you know. Small island carnivals or Trinidad carnival?
Nah, Trinidad.
Trinidad carnival.
Because how can I call there and no say, Natalie, what's wrong with you?
She had to be politically correct. But outside of designing for these carnivals, in terms of your carnival experience outside of Trinidad, which one you'd say is not the best but a memorable carnival experience for you?
I really had a great time. In a smaller island carnival?
It doesn't have to be an island. It could be Miami, it could be Caribana, it could be anywhere in the world. If you're
the smaller islands is more vibes, because they are free, the music a little rougher, so everybody just having a grand time on the road. It's not a pretty mass thing. Just the music as well. Like, I really enjoy St. Lucia Carnival.
Right.
Like, for sure, St. Lucia is up there.
Okay. And in terms of, again, you being a mommy, you think you would have played, if Carnival fell when you were in your first trimester, you think you would have played Mass on the Road?
I did plan to go to Jamaica. I had this whole plan out. If I went to Jamaica, it would have been 5 months. And then I had plans to wear my green costume, which was Candy Apple and Exodus, and then put the apple of my eye. But then my boyfriend was like, no, you stay home.
I said, you feel with my child, but Martha was to wind up on your belly, and we have to fall out. No, Miss Lady, home time.
Okay, cool.
Alright, so this one is called Song Association. So I'm going to give you some words, and you have to tell me a soca song that might have that word in it.
You know, this I might do terrible here.
That's alright. I will help you.
I don't know why I don't listen to soca, you know.
Seriously, you don't listen to soca?
Not really.
Not so only on the road for Carnival?
Only Carnival period.
But outside of that,
No.
you're not by yourself. A lot of people are like that. They
okay.
think that soca is kind of seasonal for
Not
them.
necessarily seasonal. I think the upbeatness of the soca gets me anxious. So,
Okay.
yeah, it races my heart too much and I can never think. I'm always feeling like I'm going at 100.
No, but then they are groovy soca. There are some of the mellow ones that must be power soca. That's happy so.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend from Europe, and when she came, she said she put on soca to get ready to go somewhere, and she was like, "Oh God, later, I know what's going on because the soca was so fast."
This is how I feel. Yeah.
Right for you. So then now let me ask you, groovy or power for you?
Groovy.
Groovy.
Yeah.
All right. So here are the words. Try and give me a song with these words in it. Okay. You have a little more time to think about this one.
Okay.
All right.
Thinking.
Jump. You might know the name of the song, but you can tell me the artist or how you can sing a piece of it for me, if you know it. Jump.
I want to whine and wave.
That's Rupee.
Right.
The name of that song is Jump.
Okay.
All right. Wine.
Fast wine, fast wine.
Alright, Marshall, fast wine.
Fast wine.
Fat.
I'm not putting no small fit. Let me.
It's alright, Bungie. Bacchanal. I can give you a hint.
Help me.
There's a soca artist who goes by the name the Queen of Bacchanal.
Oh, Queen of Bacchanal, but I'm trying to get a song here.
She have a song that's go. I name Bacchanal. They call me Bacchanal. Destra. Alright, vibes.
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 Hold on. It's somewhere right there. Vibes.
I am all thinking vibes, why? A soca song with vibes.
Vibes.
Alright, let me pass on that one. Because I can't be with that one either. Love.
Love?
Love.
Love.
Only help us. Love.
Love. I shall put you sing some love songs.
Mass.
Mass.
I can help you with this one. Freetown and Michael Teja sang it this year.
Nah, skip that.
You know that one. It's go Mass, come again.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you know that one. Yeah, you know it.
Okay.
Rhythm.
No, rhythm. Hold on.
Rhythm.
Tell me a rhythm too. Oh yeah, that's not Iowa. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the words straight.
Iowa. These have a jab rhythm.
Yeah.
All right. Flag.
Hold on. Don't rush me.
I think you don't want to know.
Flag. It's have a wavy flag somewhere. You know.
Half a soca have we
Okay,
flag
so
in
wavy
it.
flag. So we have no rhythm.
I thinking Alison Hines when she sing Posse, let me see you wave your flag.
You see, look, but I do
put
rhythm. That was
it in
missing.
the air.
Yeah, I say wavy flag.
Jab, last one. This is the last one. Jab.
This Grenadian song.
All
Jab.
Grenadian song.
Jab. Boy, no.
Oh, that's one. Jab.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right. You can get that one. All right, good. So she passed. You pass.
Okay.
You get more than half.
Okay.
You get more than
55.
half. Well done. So this brings us to the end of this interview of Carnival Visionaries. So you all have to follow the series throughout the entire year. We're going to be posting some of our creatives in the industry, in the carnival industry. So we want to thank Natalie for joining us.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best with your delivery.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, boy or girl?
Boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Right, but I have the $1 million question that everybody that finds out that you are pregnant wants to ask. Who is the father of this child?
But I feel like the public know my business more than me, so all you have to tell me.
So you don't want to post up who is the child father? But everybody, the whole nation want to know who is the father of this
Well, the
child.
whole nation had stories that I don't know about, so...
So editor, you can cue Rome post him first, please. Why you don't post him? So you're not posing the baby, you're posing the belly.
The belly.
Okay, so you're trying to keep that part private?
Yeah, of course. My private life should stay private.
All right, good. So we want to thank you for joining us here on this episode of Carnival Visionaries. And we're looking out for more beautiful designs from
Thank you.
Natalie. All right, so from the Playmas team, Rome, signing out.